Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. We are out here in the heart of nature, baby. We got the beautiful wind blowing everywhere. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana. How to delete the God program. Snapchat questions. I always get asked, what do I think of God, religion? So we're gonna really dive deep. Buckle your seatbelt. You don't need a seatbelt for diving deep. Why? Because we're diving deep. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? Okay, I'm gonna share with you what has helped me along my journey. When it comes to religion and spirituality, what has helped me become my greatest version. Now, I actually used to serve in the church for a number of years, and then I left, and I became more spiritual, and I started to have a greater awareness of what I was actually coming into contact with. Now, there's an old saying that religion is for people who are afraid of going to hell. Spirituality is for people who have already been there. Slow motion this side. So a lot of people who have really gone through a lot of fire and brimstone, okay, they have a lot to talk about of their experience. And along my journey, it did wonders when I was finally free of that God program. For some people, God is this man in the sky, an old man at that, with a great white beard, looking down at your every action. Okay? For some people, God is money. For some people, we are actually playing God through technology. But for me, I see God as not a person. You see, they say, God made us in his image. No. We made God in our image. Okay, every single culture around the world depicts God as looking like themselves. Okay, so we are actually talking for God. So what freed me was to realize God, energy, yeah, we're all talking about the same similar thing. I see God as waveform, vibration, energy, universal intelligence, numbers, when people see 1111, okay? But I'm going to share with you 10 steps that help me delete the God program and free myself to help me become my greatest version, okay? So let's start with the first step. Now, someone else's experience, okay? All around the world and along my early journey, I was actually living through someone else vicariously. In every culture, you have had enlightened beings. Enlightened beings, you've got Buddha, Jesus. All of these people had what we call spiritual experiences, connecting with their higher self or the world beyond this one. So they had a great awakening experience. But you see, along my early journey, I thought, okay, only they had it. No. This awakening is available to everybody. Okay, and that was the first step of me deleting this God program to realize we are actually gods and goddesses. We are, like the Native Americans would say, we didn't weave the web of creation. We are part of the web of creation. Slow motion this side. So I realized my whole life I was living through someone else's experience, but I didn't know it for myself. And that's where so many people find themselves. So universal spirituality is where people have first-hand experience of going through something, of coming into contact with their higher self or the world beyond this one, they have a first account of it, not someone else's experience. Okay? Now, the second step that helped me decode and delete the God program was to realize stories. Okay? The Hopi said, the one who tells the story rules the world. Pretty much everything is his story. His story. But what about my story? Okay, and over time, things have been interpreted differently. Words have been changed around. Things have been made up to make you believe in something which may be true or it may not. So when I talk of universal spirituality, I'm talking about not a story anymore. I'm talking about your own experience, okay? And in every major religion, ultimately, they're talking about the same thing. Love one another. Be peaceful. Yet why is the world in chaos? Because you see, in every major religion, you've got Judaism, then you've got Kabbalah, which is the spiritual side of it, which a lot of people don't even know about. You've got Islam, then you've got Sufism, right? Sufism, okay? Christianity, you got the Gnostics. So, over time, as centuries pass, you see many people forgot that before religion even, a lot of people were pagans, even in Europe. That's why so many women were burnt on the stake, because they started to recognize the power they had coming from an inner experience as opposed to an outer one. Right? And that's what happened to me. I had an inner experience to say, gosh, I could feel God working through me, energy working through me, vibration coming through me. I am a co-creator. It doesn't mean there isn't an intelligence out there. Because I see it all the time. I'm like, there are no accidents. Everything happens for a reason. But it is not something to talk of, because the spiritual apprehension of truth is intellectually incomprehensible, meaning it is ineffable. It is beyond words. It's not something you can just describe. Okay, and that's what humanity has tried to do. They've said, okay, we are going to try and describe that which cannot be described. No. We're going to actually make it a person. So for me, I realized this waveform, these fractals, this sacred geometry, which in essence are expressions of the divine force all around us, can't just be described in human language. It has to be experienced. The truth can't be told. It has to be experienced. Okay? Now, the third step that helped me decode and delete the God program, baby. 7-day vegan challenge. By the way, I'm enjoying the smoothies, right? I'm enjoying the beautiful plates of kale mixed with mushrooms, mixed with brown rice and all of that good stuff. Yeah, it's making me hungry. Okay? Now, in a lot of religious texts, they talk of animal sacrifice. And that was the program I received. Like, when I would be eating a lot of meat, I was kind of justifying it, because I would say, okay, well, it says it's okay to do it. Because you hear of these stories of, these kings saying, go and find me a lamb for my guest, right? The sacrificial lamb, that's where we get it from. So we kind of look down on animals, like they're just made for our consumption. But what happened in my awakening process was to realize that actually animals have souls, and no animal wants to be eaten, especially not by you, right? Especially not by you, right? Every animal wants to live, and then every single animal deserves the right to live. So what helped me along my journey was to say this, that there are so many other foods you can eat which don't have to take a life, a soul away, right? Plant-based foods, pineapples, mushrooms, lemons, limes, peaches, nectarines, cranberries, strawberries, anything you want. Anything you can think of, it is there for you to consume. But you see, deleting that whole God program for me was to say, okay, I get it now. The reason why the world is the way it is because we have hierarchy, okay? We look down on other life forms as less than us, when in essence, they are just different. Slow motion this side. And they are very important. So if you are an animal lover, stand up right now. Stand up. Stand up. Okay, you can. That's good, right? What's number 4? This is what I call the intermediary. You see, I get it. I get why religion was created by architects, very intelligent architects, because it is a teaching tool and it is very necessary. You see, everybody is at a different level of consciousness and awareness. But do you know how many people have been killed in the name of religion? What freed me along my journey was to realize this, that I was questioning myself, why do I need to go through somebody to get to the truth? And why has the divine feminine been taken out of a lot of religion? So in deleting the God program, God, what about goddess? I started to realize that I didn't need to go through anybody to get to the truth. And children know this because as a child, you were in direct communion, direct interfacing with the field we call in quantum physics, right? The force all around us, which is part of you. Therefore, you experienced it directly, you got the full energy from it. In modern times, what's happened is that we think we have to go through somebody who is closer to a certain truth. But the truth can't be told, it has to be realized, right? So that was a great way to help me decode and delete the God program, to actually realize I don't need to go through somebody to get to the truth. Because once again, the truth is very subjective. It is how you are decoding it. Not everybody is going to see two trees the same. Look, you see this as this tree and I see this as something totally else. Something, what the hell is this? See, I don't even know what I see it as, right? What's number 5? Separation. Okay? My God is better than yours. That's why there are so many problems in the world, because everybody thinks they have the ultimate answer. And everybody is searching for the truth. And once people find it, they say, okay, I've got the truth and you're wrong. You see, when I talk my own awakening, shifting into spirituality, I realized that everybody's truth, that's fine. Live and let live. If it works for you, that's beautiful. But what's happened is that people have claimed their truth as the absolute truth. Okay, spirituality is more about questioning everything, not accepting anything. Okay, so when I was in the church serving, I would say, okay, this is the truth. I am right, everybody else is wrong, they're going to hell, they got their sins, they've got to face, okay? So I was like, I'm so good, right? And everybody else is so terrible. Reality check, Ralph. I had to say, wait a minute. In that same process, I am separating, right? Separation is the greatest illusion ever created. It is why people go to war. And what's the solution? To see the interconnectedness between everything. So when you have a lot of spiritual practices such as Kabbalah and all of these things, they are showing you how everything is interconnected. When I talk of the 333, people are seeing 222, 1111. That is showing us once again, we are not our identity, right? The reason why children are so full of life is because they haven't got that programming yet, right? To even have this concept of an identity, right? A race, a nationality, it's all tied into the God program. Children, we don't have it. That's why we're so free, baby. Okay. Now, what's number 6? Control. Now, we all love to control. Control is the greatest illusion. Many times we think we can control events. Many humans try to play God. And I've seen they try to play energy. I've seen that it's almost as if consciousness is like a stream flowing and we are just going along with it. Okay, we don't control the stream. Yes, we are co-creators of our reality. Collectively, we can start to change the direction, but we did not create this stream. Okay, it's just been flowing and we're part of it. We're like the droplets. We're like the splashes in the ocean. Okay, so control is when people in the past, in antiquity, have used religion as a form of control for the masses. Okay? And that's what's happened. Religion has been used as the opiate for the masses to lull people into a deep sleep, keeping them away from their true power. Spirituality is all about awakening to one's true power, to realize the God within and the intelligence all around us, meaning the field. So when I realized, okay, why do I want to control everything? Right? This is not good. Because with control comes fear. And that's why the world is the way it is right now, because we have accepted a fear program based on control. You can believe in whatever you want. I'm not here to tell you what to believe in. That's your choice. But if I say, actually, this is the truth, and if you don't believe this, there's a punishment for you. Once again, fear-based punishment. And there's a reward for you if you follow me. If you are good, God, good, German, right? See the correlation? Control is an illusion. We don't control anything at all externally to us. We do, however, we can learn mastery of our inner condition, our inner emotions. This is what we call alchemy. And that's why a lot of early spiritual teachers, they were high alchemists, always molding energy to work favorably for them. Now, number 7, how to decode and delete the God program. This is what's helped me along my journey. Now, when I was actually leaving the church and going on my own path of the journey within, I started to realize that heaven and hell are a state of mind. Okay? Now, in many religious texts, we have what we call a savior program. Okay? Somebody is coming to save us. So we're always, our whole life, looking externally for the truth, for the answers, for the solution, for the heaven, for the savior to come down and save you from your, what are you doing right now? Get up, right? So what I realized is that nobody's coming to save me. Oh my gosh. And that was so liberating. Okay? We are the ones we are waiting for. Native American proverb really spoke to me. So when I realized that heaven and hell are a state of mind, I started to ask myself, what if, just what if, this is heaven right now? And in this life, you have infinite possibilities to do whatever you want. Right? But if I tell you heaven is something you can only experience when you die, it means you are going to live in perpetual hell because heaven isn't here yet. I say planet Earth is an oasis of beauty, and this is heaven. Okay? And hell, when we talk of hell, we can create hell as well. Okay? So that's also what helped me delete the God program and decode it. Okay? Let's talk about it, right? Good and bad, that's the next step. Okay? Good and bad. Now, what helped me delete the God program was this. If you look at a battery, you're going to see positive negative. Now, my mentor really spoke to me when he said, good and bad are servants for the Creator. They are perspectives. It's all about how you see them. Okay? It's all about how you see it. How you see an event is probably different from how I see it. You might say, oh, this is good. I might think it's bad. Some people say, I don't like rain. I love rain. I'm a Pisces, for goodness sakes. I love sunshine too. You don't like the sun, do you? That's fine, right? It's a matter of taste. So we say God is good and we say the devil is bad. Now, when you say live, L-I-V-E, if you reverse that, it is evil. So when you are living in reverse, it now becomes evil. So when my mentor was explaining to me that good and bad are servants for the Creator, growing up, if you touch a stove, ouch, it hurts. So that what you call evil is actually now a teacher helping you become your greatest version. Now, there is universal law, and this is what I've come to realize, that yes, good and bad are only perspectives, but underneath it all, if we are in balance with the universe, we are gonna reap what we sow. Every single action has a consequence. So therefore, what's helped me along my journey is to be in equilibrium every single day. And that is what promotes amazing health. There's a story of the devil crying outside of a church. Okay, somebody walks past him and says, oh, why are you crying, devil? And he said, well, because everybody keeps blaming me for their problems. Right? So in deleting and decoding the God program, I started to realize along my journey that I didn't want to take any responsibility at all for my problems. I would blame somebody else. I would say they did it. It's their fault. Okay? And moving towards universal spirituality, I started to take responsibility for where I found myself. And that's what helped me become my greatest version. To say, actually, I am responsible for this, not the devil. We are, as humanity, responsible for the world we have created, because we are co-creators. We are part of this web of creation. Okay? Not some mythical being, because once we do that, then once again, we are in arrested development. Let's move on to the next step that helped me decode and delete the God program. This was awareness. Okay? Awareness is everything. I started to realize that being by myself, I could actually think by myself. Okay? We take on the tradition and the culture from the generation that came before us. So we are literally living someone else's life. And it was very hard for me to even leave the church, because I had my mom saying, just come with me, and I felt bad about it. Okay, but then I realized this is like a university, right? Universe, okay? And I can't be trapped in someone else's class. I've got to go to the next level of awakening. And I'm still not there. I still got more to learn, right? So I had to realize that it's awareness. Consciousness is awareness. There are so many different levels of awareness. And the more aware you are, you start to realize you are in everything. An example, if I hurt you, in essence, I'm only hurting myself. Look at this beautiful, beautiful leaf, right? Beautiful branch, okay? You got the different leaves here. If I pluck this one is going to feel it. They're all connected, right? They all work together. So I realized the interconnectedness between everything is the ultimate truth for me, okay? And it's awareness. Once you become more aware, you realize that God, and this is what the mystics knew, energy is in everything. And we are all part of it. Therefore, we're all worthy of it, okay? And the big step that really helped me along my journey was to realize we are made from the same fabric as the universe. Slow motion this side. Okay, and the ancient Egyptians knew this in the mystery schools. Okay, Carl Sagan also knew it, saying we are stardust. Okay, the nitrogen in our DNA, calcium in our bones, right? The carbon in our apple pies are all made from the interior of collapsing stars. We are literally made of stardust. Okay, and this is what you don't hear about, meaning giving a plausible case for reincarnation. Okay, a lot of people remember living many past lives. But once again, a religious experience is more about belief. A spiritual experience is more about knowing. Okay, and that's why you got to know it for yourself. We are infinite beings and we are going to live forever. And when you realize that, all that happens is you just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? Have a beautiful day. We're out here. We're just having fun. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Have a beautiful day. Infinite waters. Diving deep once again. Stay well. Stay healthy. Peace. You!